Hello, welcome to AWS Tutorials. In AWS Tutorials, we provide workshops and exercises to learn about AWS services. These workshops and exercises are published to our website aws-dozo.com, and you can use those workshops and exercises to implement certain scenario and learn about AWS services. Today, we are going to talk about working with AWS Config. So this is very interesting service provided by AWS. The primary job of AWS Config is to track the configuration changes happening in the resources used inside AWS. So suppose you deployed some solution on AWS, you have deployed your EC2 instances, Lambda function, queues, SNS, S3 bucket, these kind of resources, and you want to track the configuration changes happening in these resources, then you want to use AWS Config. And such tracking of such configuration changes have multiple purposes. In the simplest one, you can use this configuration detail to ingest into a database to create your own configuration management database. That's the one basic use you can have. But other than that, you can do really some very smart things. So, for instance, one of the use people do out of AWS Config and very heavily do this part is doing the compliance check. In AWS Config, you can configure for different types of compliance. Example will be like no one should be able to create any public S3 bucket. S3 bucket should always be encrypted. Your volumes attached to EC2 instance should always be encrypted. RDP port should never be open to the internet. And those kind of things. So if you enable those kind of compliance rules, configuration rules, AWS Config can check whether those rules are followed or not. And if those rules are not followed, it will raise incidents which you can use to then fix the problem, either manually or in an automated fashion. So that's the one very fantastic use case of tracking the configuration changes. Another one is that actually you can see the whole configuration change timeline. And this is very important when suddenly your service was working, but it's not working next day. So what has changed between today and yesterday? Was there any change in configuration? Those kind of changes also you can track into AWS Config. So it provides you the whole timeline of the history of changes happening with each of the resources. And with that, you can come to know how this resource has changed in configuration over a period of time, and did something change to the previous day which might have caused this error which I'm expecting to, which I'm getting today. So those kind of things you can do with AWS Config. It's very interesting and powerful service. Some of the rules I talked about earlier, which you can configure for the compliance check, there's a huge laundry list of rules. You can simply use that. Or if you want, you can create your custom rules as well. So today we are going to see how AWS Config works. And our example is pretty straightforward and pretty simple one. But you will see the power of it. So when people create Lambda function and they want to run it in an asynchronous manner, it might happen due to resource crunch or something else. Your Lambda function did not execute. It waited long time in the queue and it did not execute. And in such case, it is very important that you have a dead letter queue configured for Lambda function, so that if Lambda function has failed to execute, it goes into your dead letter queue, and from there you can see why it has failed, and you can probably try to plan to retry the execution of the Lambda function. So from that point of view, if you are building a solution which is having loads and loads of asynchronous processing of the Lambda function, I think implementing a dead letter queue is a very good idea. So what we are going to do here is that in our AWS config, we'll track AWS Lambda function as a resource, and we will select this dead letter queue configuration as a rule. So if any Lambda function has been deployed without a dead letter queue configuration, then it will throw an incident inside AWS config. So this is the scenario we are going to build today. In order to build this scenario, we have created exercise, and the URL of the exercise has been provided in the description box below. You can follow the steps of this exercise to implement this scenario end to end. But let me show you what steps you have to perform in the exercise to complete the scenario. So this is our AWS-Dojo website where we publish all our exercises and the workshop. We are for this particular exercise over here. So let's go through the steps because all you have to do is follow the steps and you can implement this scenario end to end. So you need to have an AWS account in order to do this exercise. And if you don't have an account, you can use this link over here to create a trial account. The first step is to create an IAM role, and this IAM role is used by Lambda function to submit failed execution to the dead letter queue. So we simply create a role which will authorize the Lambda function to perform this task. Once the role has been created and we name it Dojo Lambda role, then we go and go to the step number 2, and here we configure the SQS queue, which is used as a dead letter queue. So we simply create this simple standard queue and we name it Dojo dead letter queue. Pretty straightforward. So create the queue. Once the queue is created, now we create Lambda function, and we are going to create 2 Lambda function. One will be Dojo function 1 and second is Dojo function 2. Dojo function 1 will have a dead letter queue configuration done, and the Dojo function 2 will not have any dead letter configuration done. Because we want to then see whether config function can track one for the compliance and track other for the non-compliance. So we simply created Dojo function 1. We simply selected one of the runtime like Python 3.8. We assigned Dojo Lambda role as the role for the function. And similarly, we repeat the above steps to create Dojo function 2. Now both functions are created, but Dojo function has to have Dojo function 1 has to have a dead letter queue configuration done. So for that, we open the Dojo function 1 details. We go to the asynchronous invocation section and click on the edit, and there you can configure your dead letter queue for the Dojo function 1. And we are saying, okay, my Amazon SQS is the dead letter queue, and this is the queue we want to use. So now you have created 2 Lambda function, 1 and 2. 1 had a dead letter configuration and 2 does not have a dead letter configuration. Now my resources are in place. Now I want to create AWS Config, which can track these resources for their configuration changes and can see if the resources are compliant as per the rule or not. So in order to do so, we go to the AWS Config. We get started. Well, you can track all the resources if you want, but in this case, we don't want to do that because we are trying to track only Lambda function. So in the resources section, you go ahead and say, I want to track a Lambda function. Then you also provide a bucket where these configuration tracking can be stored. And then after that, we simply select one of the service link role in order to execute the configuration. So all we are doing in the initial configuration is that primarily is that we are selecting Lambda function as the resource we want to track. After doing so, we go and configure what rules we want to check against for the compliance. And you can select, guys, many rules. I mean, they are like, close to hundreds of rules or probably more than that. But in this case, we are interested in Lambda function rule. So we filter down on the Lambda function, and then out of 4 rules available for the Lambda, we select that the Lambda function should always have a dead letter queue check. So we are checking for the dead letter queue configuration for the Lambda function. So we select this rule. And once you do that, you simply go and confirm this configuration. Now your AWS config has been configured to track the configuration changes of the Lambda resources. And if any Lambda resource has not got a dead letter queue configuration done, then it will consider that resource as a non-compliant resource. So once you create that, actually you have to give it some time because your initial config dashboard will look blank, and it will take some time before it will discover the resources in your account and start tracking or evaluating their configuration. Give it some time, but after some time you'll say that your dashboard will start getting populated, and you can see here that it shows me that there are two resources. One is compliant as a green and other is non-compliant, and you know why, because we have dead letter queue configuration for one Dojo function 1 but not for Dojo function 2. So we say let's see which one is non-compliant. So we click on this link over here and then say let's see which is not compliant resource, and it shows you this Dojo function 2 actually is non-compliant. You can see the status as a non-compliant here. Now you can also go and change the filter over here to see the compliant function. If you try to see the compliant function, you will find that Dojo function 1 is compliant. So what we do now we go back to Lambda function and change the dead letter queue configuration for Dojo function 2. And enable dead letter queue configuration for that to see if AWS Config will track the change. So you go to the AWS Lambda console and open the Dojo function 2, and then you update the dead letter queue configuration for that. Once you have done that, come back to AWS Config. In actual production environment, you don't need to actually do this particular step we are doing here, because AWS Config will automatically go and track the changes. But in order to changes in the configuration, but in order to make it fast, we are simply going to open the rule over here, and then we'll say let's re-evaluate right now. Okay, so not wait for AWS Config to automatically do it, but I'm forcing it to re-evaluate now. And once you do that, it will re-evaluate the configuration of all the resources it is tracking, and it comes back with a result saying, hey, you know what? Both function 1 and 2 both are compliant because you just now changed Dojo function 2 to have a dead letter queue configuration. So we say, okay, fine, this looks nice to me, but can I see the history of changes into Dojo function 2? So you click on so what you do that you click on this resource over here and Dojo function 2, and then you want to see the configuration timeline. And if you go to the configuration timeline for Dojo function 2, you can see that this resource was created initially, and it tracks some event associated with the creation. And after that, let's say roughly 15 minutes after that, the function changed. So you can see the change happening in the function. And if you click on these changes over here to see what changes actually happen, you can see that here that actually it got dead letter queue configuration done for it. Okay, so it was non-compliant, and now we did the dead letter queue configuration on this function. It tracked the change on the resource. Similarly, you can go also track the compliance timeline for the resource. It will show you when for what period the resource was compliant with the rules configured, and what time it was not. Okay, and why it was not. So this was a very small but I think useful example of how to use AWS Config to track the configuration changes into your AWS resources, and also use config rules to check the compliance against the resource configuration. Now the last step is to go and clean up the resources, like you remove the function, remove the queue, remove the role, turn off the AWS config tracking so that you don't incur any cost post this exercise. So that was all for the exercise. Hope you guys like it. And if you like, please click on the like button. Please also subscribe to our channel. If you have any feedback or comments or any requests for new content, then either you can reach out to us on your YouTube channel comment section, or you can also click on this contact us tab and provide feedback over there. We provide many such workshops and exercises. We publish almost 2 exercises and workshops every week, which you can use to learn about AWS service. I hope you like this video, and thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.